What's up, faithful? What's up, faithful? What's up, faithful? What's going on, Uncle Keith?
I'm doing well, blowing and going.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. To our faithful viewers, welcome to our show, the Always Faithful 24/7 show. My name is Mark _ Faithful 87. Gathered with my Uncle Keith. He represents Florida. He's out there gradually embracing the storm. So I just want to let our faithful viewers know we're going to do our show in respect to my uncle. His safety is very important to me, and I'm pretty sure it's very important to you as well. We hope that we're going to provide you a beneficial and entertaining show. Uncle Keith, what's up, man?
Man, I'm telling you, I'm staying dry and staying high.
I know that's right. I know that's right.
Sometimes-
I know the storm is coming, man, but how is the temperature out there, man?
Right now, it's currently, I believe, 70 degrees. I'll tell you 1 second. We went on top of this. 68 degrees, the wind gusting up to 30 miles an hour. The storm is 116 miles due east of here.
Oh.
The shorelines are getting really beat up pretty badly in the Volusia County, which is Cocoa Beach area.
Yeah.
And in certain areas of the coastline, they're evacuating condominiums. They're thinking the water walls and stuff like that are starting to decay rapidly, and they're afraid some buildings will collapse. So this is 2 hits in a row. This is the latest in the season.
Yeah.
We ever had one hit on the eastern shore of Florida. So it's interesting times.
Yeah. Well, I was watching earlier. There was some category 1. Has that increased?
No. What happens is the closer it gets to shore, it's had a tendency to get weaker because it's not over that warm water, which helps it gin up more energy. But the problem with this one is it's more tornado based because there's more moisture in the air because it's been pretty much wet ever since Ian came through.
Right.
So they're worried about a lot of tornadoes overnight. And this is going to be a nighttime landfall. Gotcha. They're expecting it to hit land in Florida in maybe the next 2.5 hours. And as it travels slowly westward and then north, it's going to be raining the entire time. Hey, Adam, thank you.
Appreciate you, Adam.
So, no, you have to stay educated, stay informed.
Yeah, absolutely.
And stay still. Yeah. Don't go out there singing in the rain, okay?
yeah, right. Shout out to Troy. What's up, Troy?
Love you, bro.
Love you too, big bro. Love you too, big bro. 49 Chanel said, "What's up? What's up, 49 Chanel? Hope all is well. Ain't seen in a while, but thank you for your time and your support. To our faithful viewers, we kindly ask, please hit that like and subscribe button. We as the faithful Huddle, we appreciate again your time and your your support. Please tell a friend and another friend regarding our channel. It's all about the 49ers all day, every day. As our statement is our huddle and our conversations for the faithful are always faithful. And we try to entertain you the best way we can. Again, it's all about the 49ers. So with that said, let's just dive straight into it. Uncle Keith. So we're finished with the bye week.
Yeah.
And but before that bye week, how can I say this? We went to our second home, which is
right.
we call it Levi South.
Yeah. We walked in the house, made a sandwich, and don't even live there.
Yeah, exactly. Man, oh man.
It always makes the 49ers a little healthier to go over there, don't it?
Oh man. Talk about it, bro. Talk about it. I mean, I don't know. It's like we have this conversation so many times with the faithful Huddle when we all together. It's like every time we're in a rut, meaning when we're either in a losing streak, the next game it comes to us resurrecting. Let me just say that, or just getting back into our winning ways when we face the Lambs. You follow what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
me personally, I don't look at the Lambs as our rival. No disrespect to them, but I really don't look at them as a rival. You follow what I'm saying? Because they've really never been a threat to the 49ers. You follow what I'm saying? I think
It's it's a mental thing almost. I mean, we come in there expecting to beat them.
yeah.
And when you have that, when you're trying to find yourself in your personality like the 49ers seem to be doing this year, it's nice to have an outlet. I mean, we were down after that last loss.
Yeah.
I mean, and we didn't look like nothing like we did the game before that.
Right.
And so, and I guess there were a lot of questions on the team and about how things are being done and who's using who. But coming to the Lambs, they just want to win. We just want to beat them.
Right. Right. Exactly.
Go ahead, Troy. Let's run the table these next 9 games.
Yeah. And it could be done.
I know it can. I agree.
It could be done. I mean, of course, one game at a time, because and this, I don't want to sound cliche, because winning a football game in the NFL, it ain't easy.
No, you're absolutely correct. Look at all the supposedly unbeatable teams that got beat this weekend.
Right.
Look at that Buffalo got handled by the Jets.
Right. Right.
Are they contenders or pretenders? The theme of our show tonight.
Exactly. We're gonna get to that.
Yeah.
We're gonna get to that. Before we get to that, we gotta embrace this victory that we witnessed against the Lambs. Again, like I said, I don't look at them as a rival. Mm-hmm. However, I gotta say this, man. We look really good against the Lambs. And I gotta start off with Jimmy G. Jimmy G played a hell of a game, man. He played a hell of a game.
Okay.
Based on me watching the game, he didn't cost us the game.
Mm-hmm.
And he didn't do anything that gave the Lambs momentum to control the whole game.
Okay.
You follow what I'm saying? Because I always believe that a quarterback job, even though it's many, but most important is don't turn over the ball.
I agree.
And he has no turnovers regarding that game.
Absolutely. No turnovers.
Yeah, man.
But he played within his skill set.
Right.
In our previous conversations throughout the season, we've been concerned about the utilization of Jimmy G. Right. If he plays within his skill set, he's an effective game manager. Right. Our team, he could be a captain by keeping the confidence of the team up. Your quarterback should be one of your captains. If he stays within his skill set and you don't ask him to not be Jimmy G, because remember, Jimmy G being Jimmy G is damn good.
Yeah. Exactly.
And when we ask him to be outside of that is when we run into trouble.
Yeah.
On the face, Mark, I mean, I can cook eggs, but don't make me mess up some bacon.
Yeah.
This is going to be a situation.
and that's the thing about Jimmy. The Jimmy is always will. We know he can. We said it many times. And I believe we respect and our opinions regarding Jimmy. We said it many times. Mm-hmm. Jimmy can do it. It's just that will he do it this any given Sunday?
Well, Mark, when I look at you saying that, I'm thinking you saying we know Jimmy's capable of stretching the field and things of that nature, but will he? And my argument is, or my statement is, in agreeing with that, I ask you to think about this.
Yeah.
Why would we ask him to do something he doesn't have a lot of confidence in doing himself? Jimmy plays confidence, and the way his momentum comes from him being confident and hitting those first four or five passes. Mm-hmm. That control fury, and once that he cuts you apart like a surgeon.
Right.
But if you get him thrown outside of his comfort zone, he's always thinking about that last play. Jimmy is a very cerebral quarterback.
Yeah.
He makes a mistake, it stays with him.
Yeah. But just to add what you just said, Uncle Keith, mm-hmm. You were saying, well, he showed us last Sunday that he can throw down the field.
Mm-hmm.
when he made that pass to Ross Dwelly, wide open.
Well, let's look at what you just said, Dwelly. How often has Dwelly been just left wide open in the formation? I mean, he's been missing the fullback. He's been missing the tight ends. Yet, I mean, they haven't been targeted.
Right.
So Dwelly was option number one in that play, or was he a progression?
Well, that I don't know.
He locked in on him.
Right.
Man, a great route.
Right.
And he just dropped it in like he was dropping in the bed basket.
I think his defender bit on a play.
Okay.
That's how he got open. If I remember correctly, I think his defender bit on a play. That's what got Ross Dwelly open.
Well, Jimmy saw him.
Yeah. And I'm glad he did.
He laid it right in there.
Because that would have been another fuss. And I'd probably be one of those guys that would have been fussing about why didn't Jimmy throw to this guy while he was out wide open and he was throwing to somebody else.
And we've been saying that a few times this season.
Right.
But by that time in the game, he had completed so many tight inline in progression passes that his confidence level was up. You have to build Jimmy up and let him manage to do what he does, and then he can stretch the field for you. But if you ask him, and out of desperation for us to play catch up and stretch the field, that's not the quarterback for that.
Right.
We're front runners.
Right.
We have to be.
Right.
We get a lead, our defense can hold.
Right. Right. Well, I would just have to say this. For him to be 21 out of 25 attempts, that's really good.
That's controlled passing.
That's really good.
Average yard per pass, 7 yards.
Right.
That's his strength.
Right.
There's some 3 and 5 yard pass receptions in there also.
Right.
But he's getting that confidence in the pass downfield.
I agree. Listen, all I ask of him is to keep that up because I know he can do it.
Okay.
He can do it. Along with that, I got to give props to Brandon Ayuk. Before our season started, I said he's going to be our leading receiver.
Mm-hmm.
David Lombardi, shout out to David Lombardi. He brought to my attention, also the 49ers attention, that Brandon Ayuk for 3 games straight, he's received 80 plus yards, 3 games straight. And that's really good. And
that's above average in the NFL.
Right. And the pace he going, I don't know. I read something that he's projected to be around maybe 1,400 yards by the end of the season before we make the playoffs. Because I do believe we're going to make the playoffs. But
now, who do you think is going to have more receptions, Ayuk or McCaffrey?
Who's going to have more? Hands down, Ayuk.
Okay.
Definitely Ayuk.
Okay.
Yeah. Because before I get to CMC, Ayuk is doing his thing. And I've read, and I might show a little bit later, on second down, he's been awesome.
Yeah.
I think he's been receiving at least, 10 plus yards on second down. And you remember, I'm sure you do. You remember we've been having concerns about us executing on third down.
Yes.
I've been doing some reading since our bye week that our issue really was on second down.
Okay.
And that's what made our third down difficult to execute. Even though we should have executed on third down, that doesn't give an excuse. But I was
gonna say the second down we had a negative yard average on second down. We were going backwards on second down.
Yeah.
So you got to treat second down like it's third, and third, is an absolute, a non-starter. I mean, we get into these pressure third down situations with 7+ yards. The success rate goes down 15% for every yard above 6 yards.
Right.
7 yards, 8 yards, 9 yards.
Yeah.
You have to throw.
Right.
And with a weak offensive line, they scheme for that, and Jimmy's under fire.
Right. Before we get into our topics, let me share something with you. Please be patient with me.
You good? The wind just hit the shoreline of Florida at 77 miles an hour.
Wow. Wow.
I'm gonna open the windows and air the place out. I'm just kidding.
Are you funny? Let me see. Let me see something.
We got some crazy fellows going out to the shore to go surfing.
Right.
And the state trooper said they're not gonna come rescue them.
Be patient with me. Let me see if this is it. Okay, yeah, this is it. Okay, now let me read this. This to our faithful viewers and Uncle Keith. This is an article by Jordan Elliott. Shout out to Jordan Elliott. He's this is his column at Niners Nation. I'm gonna read it. He mentioned the third down conversion rates are typically what get scrutinized the most when a team is struggling to string together drives. But in the case of the 49ers this season, there is a clear correlation between their failures on second down, like I mentioned earlier, Uncle Keith, and the inability to prevent drives from stalling out. Heading into their week 8, which means the first 7 games before we played the Lambs. Heading into their week 8 matchup with the Rams, the 49ers ranked in the bottom 5 in the NFL in success rate on second down, Uncle Keith.
Yep.
Success rate is defined as a play that gains at least 40% of yards to go on first down, 60% of yards to go on second down, and 100% of yards to go on third down or fourth down. Now check this out. Here is where the 49ers offense ranked in success rate for each down through their first 7 games. Uncle Keith, who was ranked 14th on first down. Second down, who was ranked the 28th team out of 32 teams on second down, Uncle Keith. Now, I didn't know this. When I read this, I was in awe. You follow what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Now, third down, who was ranked the 13th. Now, that goes to show you that what we did against the Lambs, not this past Sunday, the other previous Sunday, they changed something. Yes, with the addition of Christian McCaffrey was a great addition. Absolutely. He's a great running back that goes into the tackles, outside of tackles, and he's also a threat and a great weapon as a pass catcher coming out the backfield.
He's a possession magnet. He gives you that first down success rate.
Right.
He gives you that second down success rate. What you're basically reading here is that you should not have any more than 3rd and 2 to go on third down versus the average of 3rd and 7, because we haven't had a successful first and second down. I totally agree with that. And we need to, as a team, this is a mentality. And I heard Coach Shanahan talking about, we need to treat second down like it's third.
Okay.
That change in mentality means a lot. Look at the Kansas City Chiefs. How often do they get the third down? Very rarely.
That's true.
And they're very, very successful as a result of it. Another team that's doing well on second down, Miami Dolphins.
Right.
They're stretching the field, but they've got quarterbacks. So we have to do it technique-wise.
Right.
Cutters, flashes, hooks, halfback options. And we're doing it. When we do that and we get a lead, we're hard to beat.
Right. But this tells a lot for our first 7 games. On second down, who was ranked the 28th team.
Well, if after on second down, you do a play that's outside of your quarterback's strength and it fails miserably, You went from first to third with no gain. And then you're having to play outside of your strength.
Yeah.
And then the defense.
What's up, Perk?
What's up, Perk Dog?
What's going on, bro? Thank you for your time and your support, bro. We appreciate you, man.
Come down here and fan some of this wind away, Perk. Come fan it away.
Yeah,
But yeah, I totally expected those numbers would look like that because it was frustrating. Like, why are we running the ball off tackle on 2nd down and 8?
Right.
You know? And what are we doing? We got so conservative. We run 1st and 2nd down like we can always get it on 3rd, and that's the wrong attitude.
Right.
We need to run 1st down like we need to get a 1st down. 2nd down like we got to get a 1st down. And 3rd down, let's finish it.
Right.
And just keep ball control.
And I just thought that this was very important to bring towards our faithful Huddle and also our faithful viewers regarding stats.
Mm-hmm.
Like they keep that stuff recorded based on what we're good at on each down and where we're not so good at. And for this to be put out there, this is something that we got to take into consideration based on why we wasn't we wasn't like performing the way we're supposed to perform. Again, that doesn't take away, and I agree with you were saying earlier, still that doesn't take away our lack of execution on 3rd down. However, if you can make that 2nd down better and more easier to convert on 3rd down, then so be it.
Okay.
So let me
I was looking at the stats on one other thing.
Yeah.
And it's yards per catch. Ayuk's running at 13 and a half yards per catch in the top 5 in the NFL.
Right. Exactly.
And look at demographics, averaging 13.5 yards attempts per 83% completion. And that's Ayuk accounted for the majority of that 13.5 per catch. That's strong.
Yeah. And you know what I read too? Kyle Shanahan was mentioning, I'm paraphrasing, he was saying how, I'm paraphrasing, he pretty much was proud of the development of Brandon Ayuk.
Okay.
Like he's doing what they asked of him. And that's what you want of him. And I just think he's going to continue on evolving, man. And the more he gets the ball, the more you can tell that like he seems like a different player.
He gets it.
Right.
You got to understand something about being a wide receiver. It's a confidence builder also to be targeted.
Right.
And you got to show some hunger, otherwise you don't get the targets.
I agree.
He lays out for the pass. And the fact of all the receivers that Jimmy G has, the one that trusts him the most is Ayuk. And the one that Jimmy trusts the most is Ayuk.
Right.
What I missed?
Man. Shout out to my brother Kev, man. Shout out to the Real Talk, Nana Talk brothers out there, man. Tell Don, Jew, and Dave, I said, what's up, man? I hope all is well, man. Yeah, Uncle Keith. Let's go for it. I don't want to get distracted. Cause we got like an hour. So let me
read this one, then I can run through this pretty quick. In their week 8 win over the Rams, they appeared to find a formula that worked as their success rate skyrocketed to 76% on 2nd down. That's how you win. The 49ers offense had several plays go for 10+ yards on 2nd down in this game and did a fantastic job of avoiding 3rd down altogether. The Chiefs, Dolphins.
Yeah.
Moving the chains on 8 different 2nd downs. Jimmy G's and the air attack in particular thrived, averaging 13.5, sound familiar, yards per attempt on an 83% completion rate. Completion percentage on 2nd down in this one. Here are the numbers through air on 13 dropbacks for the 49ers offense on 2nd down. Had 13 plays on 2nd down. It was 10 for 12, 162 yards total gain, 13.5 yards per attempt, and 1 touchdown. You can't get no better than that, Mark.
Right. I agree. I agree.
If we do anything other than that, we won't win.
Right.
And if we do that, we will.
Right. Exactly. And at the top, just like Joe and Elliot has said in this article, they appear to find a formula that worked.
Yeah, I agree.
You know?
I totally agree.
And that goes back to when we played the Panthers.
Mm-hmm.
First down and second down, where we're passing.
Yep. And it worked.
Right. Exactly.
Why did we change?
Yeah, exactly.
That's a question of the ages. I mean, our record, we may go to the playoffs and do well. We might win the Super Bowl this year. But one thing we'll learn is when we find something, let's work it.
Yeah.
You know, and when we found that early in this season it wasn't working, was Debo coming out of the backfield on every critical down.
Exactly.
We have a lot more weapons. I mean, like McCaffrey, passing the ball, catching the ball. I mean, it just opens up the whole field when we execute well on second down.
Right. Let me read this real quick. Elliot also says that includes a 34-yard touchdown thrown by Christian McCaffrey to Brandon Ayuk in the second quarter. Overall, the 49ers offense averaged 10.5 yards per play on the second down. Remember I said that earlier? 10.5 yards per play on second down in this game. A significant improvement in how they've performed in previous weeks. Keep in mind, they accomplished this without the services all-pro wideout Debo, facts, who will likely return in week 10 following the bye this week. Now, this is what I like right here. And you know, I've always been talking about executing. Execute on second down to make life easier on third down is a proven recipe for success. I agree. And it appears like the 49ers have all the ingredients to continue to make it happen as they head into the second half of the season.
All right, giving respect to our brother Prez, he said the team would be much more efficient without Debo on the field because they'd have to look at other options. And I don't know if this is a prima facie case or proof of that, but it didn't look no worse with him out there. And in addition to that, my other concern is this. We've established that, but we still got to be able to disguise it. If everybody knows what your intent is on every first and second down, you're going to have to put some wrinkles in there. That's when you have a Debo. That's when you have a McCaffrey crossing. You know, use all your weapons. Use what's working. Don't throw these heavy-laden passes or critical plays to people you don't have executing the basics. Where you talked about execution, it's very, very important. I mean, why should Ray McLeod get a critical 3rd and 9 pass if he hadn't touched the ball all game?
Facts. I understand that. I see your point.
You know, so that's where execution comes in. You got to play them into execution. You're absolutely correct. Execution is a key factor in this, but you do that through progression.
That's facts too.
If you get Brandon Ayuk catching a 34-yard bomb from his running back, he looking for the ball.
Right.
Great play. Well executed.
And you know what? To add on what you were saying and what our brother Prez was saying, I would say this, being that they both have different talents, I'll look at them both as they were the spark against the Rams.
Mm-hmm.
You follow what I'm saying?
Tell McCaffrey and Ayuk?
I'm going back to what you were saying and what you were saying that Prez was saying about Debo and Christian. Yeah. Like, yes, they're different players with different talents. You follow what I'm saying? Yeah. However, in a way, I can see Christian being used like that for Debo, but being that Debo was hurt, we understood and we all agreed before the Lambs game they shouldn't play him because of the hamstring.
Yeah.
Now the fast forward, the beauty of it is that when we play the Lambs at home, Debo was that spark. Okay. This 2 Sundays ago, Christian McCaffrey, in my humble opinion, he was the spark.
No doubt. Everybody in the world is saying he's a because I mean he was a player of the game, hands down.
Right. Exactly.
But
Overall, yeah.
and here's my but. McCaffrey, Debo. You can win with both of them because they both bring different skill sets to the team. And they enhance each other. McCaffrey is a much more possession-oriented, down-oriented player for both running and receiving.
Mm-hmm.
Big play, critical play, Debo. Don't make him do the pedestrian work when he's a. I mean, you use him as a farm horse when he's a thoroughbred. Let him be your thoroughbred. Scheme it in.
Right.
Occasionally cross the middle, but occasionally come. But you put both of them on the field at the same time. Nope, the defense won't know what to do.
Exactly.
That's a tremendous thing to have in your back pocket.
Exactly.
And let's not. And as much as I like Ayuk, and I do.
What's up? Uh-oh.
And I do.
What's up?
I'm trying to not say 3 letters.
Oh.
I'm trying not to say, oh.
You talking about 2. You said 3 or 2?
Yeah.
You said 3 letters?
3 letters, yeah.
You talking about CMC?
No. OBJ.
Who?
OBJ.
Oh, OBJ.
I'm trying not to say those 3 letters. But I'd much rather have him on this side than on that side.
I agree with you. Listen, I don't mind bringing OBJ. Mm-hmm. The more weapons, the better. The more options, the better. Mm-hmm. But the way Ayuk, because you mentioned Ayuk, that's why I was like, The way Ayuk is balling on Keith, don't mess up his rhythm.
But let's look to Miami.
Yeah. What's up?
All right. Who do you have as receivers there? Tyreek Hill and Wendell, right? A young player, a little more experienced player, a lot more experienced player, and they opening up the skies like JetBlue.
Yeah.
Either one of them could kill you deep.
Yeah.
But our challenge is, do we have enough quarterback arm to do that with Ayuk and OBJ on the field at the same time?
I agree. And that goes back to what you said, Uncle Key.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure Kyle Shanahan was scheming for Ayuk to go down the field. And he said it earlier today at the presser. And I know you were saying earlier, well, before that, you don't really like listen to pressers. I do because I benefit a lot from it. Mm-hmm. However, I can see Kyle scheming Ayuk. If being that Debo was at practice today, thank God, just like what you were saying, I just gotta add Ayuk, Kittle, Debo, McCaffrey,
mm-hmm.
and whoever we have in a slot, whether it's Danny Gray when he gets going, or Ray. I know some of us faithful not really feeling Ray at the slot, However,
but it goes back to what we said earlier, though. Ray hasn't had enough real touches to give us a real sample or to build his own confidence up. I mean, if the game depends upon your first pass that you've seen all day, that's a lot.
Yeah.
If all your great passes are coming in practice, then what good is that?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I agree. Let's go further into our show, Uncle Keith.
Mm-hmm.
As you can see, are the 49ers back to their winning ways, Uncle Keith? What you think, man?
I want to say yes. And I also want to say there's no excuse for them not to be. With all the talent we have on the field.
Yeah.
And starting to get healthy. Provided we stay healthy and we execute the plan and the formula that we know that is working and we learn to disguise it so we continue to execute it, yes. I think they can run off 4 or 5 wins in a row. Easy.
Yeah.
I think there will be an occasional letdown or we get off scheme or script or maybe not. I just don't know. And the reason I don't know is because what's happened up to the bye week. We were schizophrenic all season.
Wow.
Trying to find an identity.
Right.
All right, the first McCaffrey game, we had a weapon we didn't use. The second game, we used every bit of that weapon we could get, and it was more than enough. Mm-hmm. So what are we going to do the next game?
Right.
What do you think?
Well, I've always said that we know our identity. It's just that we have to play better.
Mm.
Play better, and not only play better, we gotta be consistent week by week. Now let's go back to being consistent. Since our loss to the cheaters, better known as the Chiefs,
Yes.
Kyle Shanahan and D'Amico Ryans said the same thing, but in different words, that we gotta play better. I've been saying this, and I've always said, like, yo, I'm gonna start at the top and work my way down. And when I mean the top, I'm talking about the coaches and down to the players. However, that's like me and you, Uncle Keith. Me and you sitting down and we're writing a script for our players to execute these plays that we practice 2 or 3 days before the game day, and they don't perform. You know they can do it. It's just like, yo, you're not doing what we've been practicing for 2 or 3 days to do. Now, with that said, I agree with what Kyle and D'Amico Ryans was saying. They were saying we all got to play better. Now, to fast forward to right now, I think that we are back to our winning ways.
Mm-hmm.
Because we added Christian McCaffrey as another weapon. And this is just me. For some reason, in that backfield, you may agree or disagree, and maybe our favorite viewers may agree or disagree. Christian McCaffrey at times made Jimmy G look good, especially during those checkdowns.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Christian McCaffrey was making Jimmy G look really good, man.
Christian McCaffrey is the best fit player for the way Jimmy plays.
Yeah.
Everybody else has to make adjustments, but McCaffrey plays that game instinctively.
All right.
It was the greatest inter-season acquisition the 49ers have ever made. Let me repeat myself. It is the greatest in-season acquisition the 49ers have ever made. Let me tell you why. You think Jimmy didn't walk away from that game thrilled to death? And if he ever gets in a panic situation, you know who you'll find and who will find him? CMC. They'll find each other.
Yeah.
Ace, that's tight. Health, execution, Super Bowl.
I agree.
All right.
And
execution. Now, grab on this though. As much as I agree with individual execution, you still have to scheme is a part of execution also. You've got to put the plays in that you can execute.
Right.
And if we're doing stuff outside of the formula of second down being a primary down for us, we're not executing on the coaching side. But if we set it up that way, and we get so used to doing it, execution becomes secondary nature because it's what we do well.
Right.
When we start doing things outside of our normal scheme of things, that's when we get all jacked up and get behind and we start chasing our tail and panicking.
Right. All right. I agree with you, Kev. And I know it always sounds so cliche, but that's always been the reason why we should win the Super Bowl. Health and execution. And even though we've been unfortunate since Kyle Shanahan had taken over since 2017, 6 years straight, we've been having an injury bug. Next man up. However, it is what it is, but they still got to execute. So with that said, thank you for your comment, Kev. We always appreciate you, bro. I gotta share this, man. How does the addition of CMC's skill set benefit Jimmy G and the 49ers as a weapon?
Okay. You want to take this one first?
Listen, no doubt. Christian's versatility as he displayed last Sunday, I think it was brilliant by Kyle Shanahan based on he know what kind of player he has. Two, Christian executed those plays. You follow what I'm saying?
Oh, I follow you.
And three, that offensive line. Kudos to our offensive line. The offensive line did their job by run blocking for allowing Christian McCaffrey to run down the Lamb's throat, in my humble opinion.
Okay. All right.
I believe as a head coach, when you know the talent that you have, you script plays around that talent. You trust that player based on his talent and those plays, and you put your trust into that offensive line. And that's what I've seen from that Rams game. And that's what I think benefited Jimmy G. Because I'm not saying that took pressure off Jimmy G to outthrow Matt
CMC.
No, Matt and Matthew from the Rams.
Okay.
Right, Matthew Stafford. Because sometimes I be wanting to see if Jimmy G can win us a game by just throwing the ball all the time, but Ben, just like you were saying, Uncle Keith, that is not something that we ask of Jimmy G. And I know some people don't like to use that word that Jimmy G is a game manager. However, I just think Christian McCaffrey have brought a skill set that benefits Jimmy G as far as relieving him to stay within 25 passing attempts.
Okay. Now, we saw 2 games in a row prior to this game where Jimmy threw the ball over 35 times. And prior to those 2 games, we discussed on this on our podcast, should Jimmy G throw the ball more than 30 times a game? And it was split.
Right.
So I'm saying if he's having to do that, then we're not having a successful run game or properly executing plays within our scheme. Another one says if he does that, then we got to be winning because we're getting the ball downfield and he's having a success rate. So let's talk about CMC's skill set benefiting Jimmy G and the 49ers as a weapon. So a month ago, I asked one thing of our coach.
Yeah.
Stay within the skill set of your players. I said the reason we have Trey as a quarterback was because we knew we were going to have a weak offensive line. Fast forward. How CMC's skill set benefits Jimmy G is he doesn't have to take as much time to execute the play, which makes our offensive line look better because they don't have to protect as long. They make the initial contact and redirect, and the play is ahead of them.
I agree.
And our quarterback is not getting smashed.
I agree.
Okay? That's the biggest first benefit. He helped both the offensive line and the quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Flip a little further. Put Debo back in that same scheme, McCaffrey on the other side, or both of them at the same time. You got 2 quick options. Option 1, option 2. Both of them can be executed in less than 3 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Consistently.
Mm-hmm.
Time per play last game. You know what it was?
No, I don't remember.
2.49 seconds. We need to be under 3 seconds. In the Miami Dolphins game, Tua, 2.35 was the only person releasing the ball faster.
Right.
That makes a difference when your offensive line is what? Hurt and weaker.
Right.
Our biggest challenge to our offense isn't our skill set players, the receivers, the running back, so much as it is protecting that quarterback and letting the play develop. Put them in a position to win. The 49ers as a weapon, Lord have mercy, we got some weapons. We got an abundance of riches. but we'll never get to them if we can't execute our basic first and second down plays.
Right.
If you have a 3rd and 1 or 2nd and 1, and you want to take a shot to Ayuk downfield, it's okay to do that.
Mm-hmm.
You can roll Jimmy out. You could drop a McCaffrey back to block or Debo to brush off. You can buy him that extra step he's going to need. But McCaffrey would be a shotgun passer versus Trey being under center and dropping back and being in motion to execute the play. Those are two very different skill sets, but both of them can be used effectively by using your weapons right and staying on that second down. I think that's the most important thing you pointed out, Mark, in many, many weeks, was that second down execution is critical to this team.
Yeah.
Absolutely, flat out a great stat to put out there. It's absolutely critical. And if we do that, we will be successful. And I think CMC's skill set is essential, and so is Debo's. Use him properly.
Right.
Feed off of each other. Having them two is the same thing as having Wendell and Tyreek Hill.
Right.
One makes plays available for the other one. Every time they executed a major play between those two, each player ended up in the same screenshot.
And you know what else too?
Mm-hmm.
With the threat of Christian being in that backfield, that brings 8 players. Oh. Well, that keeps 8 players in the box.
Yep.
And 3 in the back.
See ya.
Somebody down that field should get beat.
They will. We got
either that's Debo, Ayuk, or let's just say Ray.
Or Kittle.
My point exactly.
Because Kittle's that quick option over the middle.
Right.
Who presents a big target, who comes back to the ball just like CMC does.
Right.
And will sacrifice his body.
Right.
Fire in the hole, Mark. Fire in the hole. Kittle's there. Boom. Yeah. 8 yards. First down.
Right. And you know what's so crazy, man? Before they traded my boy Jeff Wilson.
Oh God.
I read, they both meaning Jeff Wilson Jr. and Christian McCaffrey, they both run a 4.4. They both run a 4.4. And I'm like, is it? I just think I could be right, I could be wrong. Maybe Christian McCaffrey, maybe he just sees the whole better than Jeff. You feel what I'm saying? And I'm a Jeff Wilson guy. That's my guy. I just think Christian McCaffrey, he just sees the whole.
Hey, Grasshopper, let me help you out with something. I'm going to call you Grasshopper for a reason, because my answer is going to be in the vein of why it makes a difference to have as many touches as McCaffrey has versus Wilson. That's simply muscle memory and execution of plays, because McCaffrey's touched the ball, I guarantee you, 600 times more than Wilson has. And if you don't think that contact, that hit, and identifying that full speed NFL action makes a difference from 600 hits to 200 hits, I think that's why you're correct. He has a better vision, better options, more flexibility, because straight speed is natural. Yeah. Running and executing is a skill set. And that takes repetition. And McCaffrey never had a problem touching the ball in a football game. Right. Since he got in the league, he built up, because in his first season, he wasn't that guy. But he committed himself to being the best he could be, and he is. Right. So I think Wilson 2 years from now will be a McCaffrey.
Hey, that's why they got him out there in the Dolphins, man. They really. But let me go further, man. We got a couple more minutes, man, in respect for your time as well. Do the 49ers have the best running back duo in the league with Christian McCaffrey and Elijah Mitchell? What you think, Uncle Keith?
Well, on paper, close. And I'm going to tell you why I say close. I need to see Elijah healthy all the way. If he's 100% healthy, yes.
That's what I read, Kev. I could be right, I could be wrong, bro. I thought it was a 4.4. I could have swore it was a 4.4. yeah, Uncle Keith.
That shit real quick. Jeff Wilson's 40 time. 4.57.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yo, I read 4.4. Okay, my bad. Look, Kevin said my dude more high as gas prices.
Now Debo's a 4.48.
Yo, that's what I read though, man. My bad.
It's all good.
Yeah, Uncle Key real quick, man.
I'm good. If Elijah's healthy, I think they compete with anybody, and I think they'd be one of the top 3. I'm not willing to give them number 1. No, I got to see you execute.
Yeah, no doubt. Shout out to Sean. Sean said, hold on. Wait. He said they're both 4 or 5 guys. I could have sworn I seen 4 for both of them, but again, I don't. Hey, listen, that's on me. I'll take that.
Somebody Googling that stuff.
Yeah, thank you for your comment, Sean. We appreciate you, bro. Yeah, to make it to further this discussion. Yeah, I think, yo, man, like you said, Uncle Keith, if Elijah Mitchell is healthy and we have that same Elijah Mitchell that we had last year,
he was a beast.
I think, in my humble opinion, I think we have the best running back duo in the backfield, man.
Second down will be fun, won't it?
Yeah, man. Oh my God.
Ooh, I gotta give props to one player. I'm a big Alabama fan.
Yeah.
And I gotta bring this up in this podcast because I saw something that made me throw my hat at the television.
Yeah.
I saw Tennessee running back carrying people 40 yards. Derrick Henry is the truth. I'm talking about a straight up beast mode.
Oh, yeah?
I'm talking about, for real, man. He was knocking people off like they was trespassing on his property.
You said Alabama?
Yeah, Roll Tide. Derrick Henry came out of Alabama. I used to watch the workouts. That kid was leg pressing 675.
All right.
He's a beast. And he just runs over people. He don't avoid contact at all.
Yeah.
Last time I saw a running back hit that hard, run that hard, and I hate to say his name out loud, was Herschel Walker.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
That brute, and Bo Jackson. That brute natural strength. Ooh. Man, if I had hit that 2.5 or that $2 billion, I'd have been a partner in the 49ers, and we would have begged, borrowed, and kidnapped Derrick Henry to put him on our team. They could have sued me for interference.
All right, so Uncle Keith, man, I know this question looks familiar. I tweaked it a little bit. All right, now, how do we think the 49ers can maximize Jimmy G's abilities? Well, Uncle Keith, I just think that Jimmy needs to stay efficient and stay consistent with his target. I've always said this. Even if the play is not there and your offensive line is collapsing, scramble out that pocket. Try to extend the play. If the play is not there, throw it out of bounds. Protect the ball. I don't really know how can the coaches maximize his abilities. I think we already know his ability. You said it earlier. He has, I think, the third quickest release in the game. I mean, what is he? 2.3 seconds, something like that.
That was Tua. He was I think I forgot this, but he was under 3 seconds.
Okay, my fault. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I just think that Jimmy needs to stay efficient, stay consistent, and just hit his target. Trust his wide receivers. His wide receivers got to catch the ball too. We got to also say that, because you got to bail out Jimmy as well, just in case if that offensive line collapse. But I'm just saying, when Jimmy G feels that heat, scramble out the pocket, man. But honestly, I really don't know how to answer this question based on how can the 49ers maximize his abilities. I really don't know. I just think that if Jimmy can stay within his strengths, he will be fine. Me personally, just no knock on Jimmy. I think his weapons make Jimmy look better than him making his weapons look good.
Bingo.
That's just me.
My answer to this question is really, really simple. Stay within his core competency will maximize Jimmy G. His core what he does well.
Yeah.
Don't let Jimmy think. Jimmy suffers from analysis paralysis and gets knocked on his head or knocked out of the play or takes too many sacks that he doesn't have to. Right. You got two options. Make a play. You can also make Jimmy maximize his ability is to do a schemed scramble for Jimmy. You got to get him out there and get his confidence that he can run and advance the ball when he gets in trouble. He can. He's a pretty decent runner. That's how you get the most out of Jimmy G. You limit his options. You get away from analysis paralysis. You don't give him 4 targets in progression.
Yeah.
Keep passing from the middle of the field and keep his pass from the middle of the field for starters.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I agree with that. That's within his skill set, right. Yeah.
Listen, we know that, and also the defense that watches the film know where Jimmy G's strength at. Only thing is, the defense gotta outperform our weapons, because if our weapons can get that separation, it's Jimmy G's job to hit that open target.
He does within his skill set. He's very precise.
Exactly.
He threw some passes Sunday
yes.
that were this far from the defender on both sides and was right here where the receiver was the only one that could make the play.
Right.
He was precise, but it was within his skill set, within the limits that he presents. Now, his limits ain't so bad when he's executing them. We win.
Yo.
Take him outside of that.
Thank you, Perk. Yo, I got to read this real quick. Perk said, I appreciate you, Perk. I want to see Jimmy anticipate throws and throw our wide receivers open, hit them in stride. Perk, I agree with you, but I really agree. I really agree with you when you say hit them in stride.
I disagree.
Huh?
I disagree.
With what? The whole thing or partial?
Yeah, the whole thing. That's not Jimmy's skill set. We just spent an hour talking about staying in our lane. All right. Until he can show us he can do that, he won't do it.
But I feel you, Uncle Keith. I feel you. But I also feel Perk. Reason why I feel Perk, and I've been saying this, and this is what I've been wanting. All I've been saying, there's going to come a time, Uncle Keith, and you're right. There's going to come a time that our opposing, our opponents may outperform us within a running game. It's going to come a time, and you know this. You may not want it, but you know this. It's going to come a time that Jimmy G is going to have to win us a game with his arm. And all I'm saying is, if they pack the box, if they pack the box with 8 players, Jimmy is going to have to throw to that open man, which he has shown us with Ross Dwelly. And he's going to have to hit that target in stride. At least lead your target. While he's running, you're going to have to lead it. Don't overthrow him or don't have too much ball underneath the air. You feel what I'm saying? I agree with Perk. I would like to see it too.
I would love that. That's just not Jimmy. It ain't. We've established that through and through the season where Jimmy's strengths were, and we can win with those strengths. I just if you start scheming for that,
yeah,
Jimmy's going to need to know how to throw those throws, and that's a fact. No doubt, Perk. I don't disagree with you. I'm just saying you better practice a lot before you put it in a real game. We'll start having some Jimmy Gimmies.
Yeah. It's unfortunate, but he's gonna have to, man. It's gonna come a time, man, that if our
the ball downfield,
if our offensive line is not run blocking well, whatever the case may be, man, it's gonna come a time Jimmy is gonna have to, throw that ball and lead our wide receivers in stride. But I feel what you're saying, but I mean, I would like to see it, because once you start putting that on tape, when defense starts seeing that, I'm pretty sure they're like, yo, this guy is building confidence in his arm strength, in my opinion.
I'll give one concession on that to both you and Perk.
What's up?
If we play 3/4 of a game with a formula that works and we get a 3-touchdown lead, we've got to have Jimmy get confidence throwing that ball downfield, and we start scheming plays from when we're ahead to stomp our opponents into the ground. We cannot execute those long-term in-stride passes when we're coming from behind. Don't do that to us.
Right.
Does that make sense? I'll concede.
Excuse me. My brother Kev said, make his reads quick.
Yep.
And his direct vision. I agree, hands down. And make his reads high to low versus low to high. Oh,
that's
my God.
Very smart point.
He hit the nail right on the head, man. Because I was always concerned about those mid passes that be real high. And remember, we had a discussion like why I don't understand why Jimmy don't hit his target within the numbers. It's always high.
The ball sailing.
Huh?
The ball sails.
Yeah.
That's too
much air in the ball.
When I played football, the only reason our quarterback could throw the ball high was he didn't have confidence in the throw. Because when Jimmy's on target, his balls are below the numbers because he's gunning it in there. When he's throwing and hoping, it's sailing.
Yeah. Perk said, okay, that makes perfect sense. I'm with you on that.
Probably thinking about scheming the stride passes late in the game when we have a lead. I think that's what he's referring to.
Hey, honestly, I don't want to put words in my brother's mouth.
I'm actually just asking.
It's just something that I would like to see too, man.
Yeah.
Because when you got a guy like Brandon Ayuk, and I think our brother Jizzle said he runs a 4.3. You follow what I'm saying? Yo, if Brandon runs a 4.3, let's just say he runs a 4.3, unless somebody corrects me.
Googles it.
You know what I'm saying? If Brandon Ayuk runs a 4.3 and he's beating his target, like, yo, because sometimes you're not always going to get an open wide receiver like Ross Dwelly and like Brandon Ayuk when Christian McCaffrey threw him that pass because they bet on the run because the run was working. You feel what I'm saying? There's going to come a time. That's why I agree with Perk. There's going to come a time that Jimmy G is going to have to, lead his wide receiver in stride with a pass.
I hope he does it after we've won 7 in a row.
I hope he doesn't when we got 14 points or 21 points ahead. Yeah,
let's work it into the game, but don't put the game on the line to get it done.
Yeah, that's no knock on Jimmy, but at least try to do it. And respect to our time for the show, and for you, man. I hope you be safe out there.
Yeah, it's still quiet on the Western Front, but it's getting closer.
Yeah. All right, so Uncle Keith.
Yes.
To end our show with this topic, man. And the first topic was, are the 49ers back to their winning ways? I gotta end it with this right here. Do the 49ers have a self-inflicted issue and or inconsistent problem?
Yes.
We touched on it barely earlier, but what you think, bro?
I have a question more than a thought.
What's up?
Why are we the most injury-prone team in the NFL?
Bro.
Consistently. We've been talking about it 6-7 years. All right. There's something systemic in that organization where our key players are being hurt at the most inopportune time, and it's not just luck. And that breeds inconsistency and lack of execution. If you can't keep your players playing, then that's going to hurt your consistency. I'll say that. That's my answer to that question.
Mm-hmm. I would say both. I think they have a self-inflicted issue based on lack of discipline on the field when they're playing. And I can use many games that I've seen of blown coverages on the offensive line. Like our last game against the Lambs. Yo, I seen I seen Spencer Burford and Mike McGlinchey just
stand there.
just let their opponent just go and sack Jimmy G. Jimmy G got sacked 3 times for 12 yards. Yo, one play, yo, word is born, yo. He Jimmy G, he snapped the ball.
He was getting tackled.
McGlinchey was standing and just looked at his player and just run right by him. I'm like, yo, that's your guy. And he sacked Jimmy. You feel what I'm saying? Spencer Burford, I give him a pass. He's a rookie. However, I'm like, yo, he let his guy just go right in the middle. And I'm just saying to myself, like, yo.
We talked about McGlinchey for 6 podcasts in a row.
Man.
That's all I'm going to say. If you want to, if that's self-inflicted, you're damn right. That's self-inflicted. McGlinchey being out there self-inflicted.
It's an issue.
And of course it's an issue. But he was out there last week too.
Right. So
which means the scheme has an effect on playing around that weakness. We already know it's there, so why don't we quit pretending like it's not?
Right. So I just think that that goes back to what I was saying earlier with Kyle Shanahan and D'Amico Ryans was saying that we gotta play better. And I think overall, this talks about the self-inflicted issues based on their lack of execution, what they're supposed to do on the field. And that's on both sides of the ball. Now, to move forward with playing inconsistent it's like an inconsistent problem. They know what they're supposed to do. It's just that, and I said it earlier, why does it seem like when our backs is against the wall, that's when we play better? And I said an example earlier in our show, when our backs against the wall, when we're on a losing streak, we lost 2 games in a row.
All right, look.
That's when we play the Lambs.
Now, let me answer your first question. Why we play better when our back's against the wall? Because our coach's back is against the wall also. I mean, if you're not executing and you got players that are not executing, you got players that are letting defensive linemen walk past them without making any contact or rubbing or anything else to where they sack your quarterback, your ass should be on the bench. Next play. I don't care. Bring somebody up from the practice squad next week and ask them if they're hungry enough to want to play. Because at this point, those execution wounds are both coaching and players. There's got to be consequences because we play better because we're afraid because consequences are being stated. If they can get away with doing, I mean, how do you as a professional lineman not touch a defensive lineman coming across your line and go directly to your quarterback? You got to be benched just for that. But yet we roll him back out there next week and we talk about him again next week. Now, is that an execution error? Is that a discipline error? Or is that a coaching decision? Holla. Good night.
I don't know, man. I just think that's a self-inflicted issue, period, within the players.
That's a coach-inflicted issue. How do you let this guy go undisciplined with no consequences, continue to start, and talk about him week in, week out? He's risking your quarterback. You might as well have Jimmy G run the ball all the time.
Yeah, but I will say this. I read a couple of days ago, and I read today that I do like that they have Spencer Burford and
Williams.
Brunskill. They got them rotating at right guard.
Well,
to keep them fresh. And
who
I'm
do you
like,
think
yo,
can rotate in to help McGlinchey up? Because I think McGlinchey needs some help rotating too. He should rotate right to the end of the bench.
I agree. And
I mean, what about that walk that the guy that picked off unclaimed waivers, West?
Huh?
What about West, the guy that came off unclaimed waivers?
Oh, I don't know.
He used to be both the center and the guard. Hell of a player. And I haven't heard anything about him. And I think he made the squad. Mm-hmm. No, he's not. He's on the practice squad. Mm-hmm. At this point, what do we have to lose?
Yeah. Listen, man.
You got to do something with this cat. I mean, because if Jimmy's going to stand in there and try to throw the ball downfield, he needs to be able to stand in there. Mm-hmm. If this guy's not even going to brush a defensive lineman, then what do we got? We got that side of the line is you can't even throw that ball on the side of the field.
Right.
Unblocked, unabated to the quarterback is a major failure of an individual player.
Yeah, I agree with that.
What position did you play when you played football?
I play wide receiver. They wanted me to be a running back because I run fast. But
what's the worst thing as a wide receiver you could have done on the field?
Say that one more time.
What's the worst thing as a wide receiver you could have done on the field?
What was the worst thing?
Yeah. Most unforgivable.
I gotta be honest with you. What I was taught, because I had good hands, catch the ball before you run. Because you got some people, they see the defender, mm-hmm. They're quick to run before they catch the ball. So I was always taught catch the ball.
So the worst thing you could do is to not catch the ball?
Huh?
So the worst thing you could do is to not catch the ball.
Right. That's the worst thing to do.
What if you did it 5 games in a row, not catch the ball and started to run?
Say it again.
What if you did that same thing 5 games in a row? You had an open pass thrown to you, didn't catch the ball, you ran and dropped. Before the ball got to you, you dropped the ball. If you committed the worst thing that you could do as a receiver 5 games in a row,
right?
Would you continue to throw to you?
If I'm open or if I'm...
You said the worst thing you could do is to see the ball coming and anticipate running and drop the ball, not catch it.
Right.
Because you're running away from the pass.
Okay.
Is that not what you're describing to me?
Right.
If you do that 5 games in a row, do you expect to be thrown to game number 6?
Oh, no. I get what you're saying.
Oh, well, same thing with McGlinchey.
Right. Yo, bro. I know. Yo, real quick. Real quick.
There you go.
when they traded Jeff Wilson Jr.
Oh my God!
I wanted a right tackle, bro.
Where was you gonna get it?
Huh?
Where was you gonna get one from?
I know, but that's what I wanted. That's just what I wanted. Again, Jeff is my guy, but I said, I was like, do we really need a pick? I like, we need a right tackle. That's who we really need. But listen to Kyle Presser today. He was saying that they needed a pick, and I'm saying to myself, did y'all really need a pick? However, it is what it is. I see that McKivitz is back, and I know he can play right tackle, but I don't know if he's better than McGlinchey. Because McGlinchey, he's better at run blocking
than pass
blocking. You feel what I'm saying? So,
but McKivitz is better at pass blocking than run. So rotate him.
I don't know, man. I don't
know either. I'm just throwing spitball and throwing it out because that's a sore subject for me, McGlinchey. Every time I hear his name, it makes me cringe.
Yeah.
Every time I watch him play, it makes me cringe.
Yeah.
And that's not just an individual thing. I mean, he played last game. We executed great, but we schemed around him. Right. And we need to know that that's what we got to do. Going forward, free agent signings, picks, we got to get the offense. When you got that much offensive talent, you got to have a good offensive line, period.
I agree.
We're going to make some sacrifices. I love you, nephew. Well, let me go out here because they say the weather right now in Titusville, which is 26 miles due east of here, is 73 miles an hour. Orlando, we got wind gusts heading towards 45 miles an hour. I don't see my window shaking yet. I'm looking forward to it, though.
To our faithful viewers, thank you for tuning into our show. Thank you for your comments and your thoughts. We respect your thoughts and your opinions. We hope that you respect and understand our opinions based on how we see it. Again, thank you, Uncle Keith. Love you, man. Be safe out there. I'll reach out to you tomorrow morning to see about your whereabouts.
I appreciate that. I'm going to do a mass text everybody, let them know we're okay. And we got to get the rest of our faithful back on board, man. We can do this in a storm. We can do it in sunshine, too. Let's get it rocking. Get it rocking.
Yeah. Listen, God bless you. To our faithful viewers, God bless you as well. Hopefully, we'll see you probably next Sunday or next Wednesday, because I'm thinking about having
after game.
Yeah, man.
We outside then. We outside.
God bless. We out of here.
All right, be good. Bye-bye.